Órale, hijo de su pinche madre, póngase a estudiar español, cabrón. Learn some freaking Spanish. Duolingo. Arguably the biggest platform in the world for learning a different language. Anyone with access to internet and with the intent to learn another language knows what Duolingo is. But did you also know that Duolingo is trash? You have to stop using Duolingo right now. Because I don't know if you are aware of this, because it's breaking news. Just a few hours ago, Duolingo let most of its translators go. Literally, they let a lot of translators go because now they are just going to use AI, and the few translators that are still employed there are just going to review those AI translations. So basically, they are no longer going to use, well, obviously they have the amount of database of all of the work of those translators. It's not like those translators just leave and they keep their work. No, that's forever for Duolingo. So every Duolingo translation that you use from now on, it was made from someone that probably was already fired. That's something that you need to, to keep in mind every time you are using Duolingo now. The other thing is that they are using, and they have been using, they literally admitted that they have been using AI for a while now, at least for a year, and now for the next year, for this 2024, they are doubling down and they are going to continue just using AI to make the rest of the new translations and to make updates in words, terminology, and all of those things, because the language is always changing. Although, like I say, Duolingo is not a good platform. I mean, it is a good platform to become a beginner, but it is definitely not a good platform to become proficient and native speaker of the other language. Like, first of all, I didn't learn English, and this is something that a lot of people don't know, but I didn't learn English with Duolingo. I barely got any classes. The only classes that I got were when I was young, right? I got the technical basis of English, but it's still really hard to master, and I was in no way near to the level that I am right now. The way that I perfected my language was through my method. My method is literally just watching movies, TV shows, reading media in the other language, music, podcasts, and video games, most importantly. All of those things are the perfect way not only to understand how the language is used, the context, and the way the language sounds. Because that's very important. Language are, constructed of phonemas, so are basically just sounds. It's very important to understand how a language sounds. Sometimes people say, oh, why are you making American accent? Or why are you, when you're trying to maybe learn Portuguese, why are you making, Brazilian Portuguese? Why are you making Brazilian accent? Or Italian, why are you making the Italian accent? It's like, well, because language is based on sounds, and it is easier for your brain to replicate those sounds if they fit the actual sound that was developed, from, for example, from Italia for a long time. Italians have been speaking in a way for a long time, so the language has so the way they speak is part of the language. The same is as in Mexicans, right? The way we speak is part of our dialect. And that will be way, way, way more important in languages like Chinese or Mandarin, which, the inflection of the voice is really important. So you really need to make the sound exactly as they make it so it makes sense and you are not saying a complete different word. I really love learning languages. I just don't know why I haven't learned more languages, because truly I do not trust tools in the internet. Sadly, it is really hard nowadays to really trust that the source that you're getting your language education from is the actual, you know, the actual way how people speak that language. For example, in Spanish, I have joined Duolingo to test how good is Duolingo in Spanish. And well, sadly, most of the Spanish it uses is Spanish from Spain, which it is not the most spoken Spanish in the world. The most spoken variety of Spanish in the world is Latin American Spanish, obviously. Obviously, like. But they are lazy to, to gather all that information from all the Latin American regionalisms, which, yeah, I guess they are hard to do. But if there are people that actually care about these cultural richness and to preserve all of these variants in the language, which is Spanish, which is one of the most beautiful language, certainly, other than English, obviously. But it is something that just a few tiny amount of people are willing to do. And I am willing to do that kind of work. So, it is something that I love. It is something that I treasure. That's why I love that I have a lot of primos, from all around the world here in this channel that have joined the MEXAVERSE, or that they are part of the Discord channel, that, are from so many cultures, and that they give me so many inputs in, specifically in language, which is something that for some reason I put a lot of effort, and I put a lot of time in my channel to do, because it's something that I appreciate for some reason. And if you also appreciate that kind of topics, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell with a machete if you have to. And well, just to end the video with a conclusion, Duolingo has been using AI for a while. I always thought that their translations were kind of iffy, like I said. Sometimes it feels like when they speak Spanish, it's almost like someone out there that is not a native Spanish speaker, or is maybe just Spanish from Spain, not native Latin American speaker, because the way that the words are used, or the way that the words are translated, or the way that the structure of the actual sentence works sometimes is not used properly, and seems like it seems like it's Google Translate. That's what it feels like. So yeah, don't use Duolingo anymore. They are basically just arseholes. And learn Spanish with the Angry Mexa. Join the MEXAVERSE as cheap as 99 cents. And you can get access to videos that nobody get access to. Shorts where I try to teach you Mexican. And streams where I record my videos so you get access to the unedited versions of all of those videos. And well, see you in the next one, primos. Bye.